afternoon and welcome to Women Everywhere. This is Gigi Carrera and I'm here with my co-host,
Felicity Woodson.
Welcome again to Women Everywhere. We're live here from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. at IntellectualRadio.com.
And that's 1 to 2 p.m. Central because we do have listeners in other Central, not just in the Central time zone. So check out everybody that is in California, my family. The show is starting now at 11 o'clock, not 1.
Yeah, 1 p.m. IntellectualRadio.com. We're always live here every Sunday. And I wasn't here last weekend, so I'm sorry I missed everyone. But she was here. And
we played Where's Gigi?
Yeah, right. And you were holding off to that play for the longest time. I'm like, when is she going to say where I am? I kind of wanted to know where I am, but
Exactly.
Yeah, that was interesting. So this afternoon is so exciting because we have an incredible women behind us that's going to be a guest at our show today at 1:30. And we will talk a little bit more about who they are. If you can see them from the background right now, we'll talk about that pageant that they're involved with. And we'll talk about also the epic fail in fashion in 2015, 2016.
Definitely, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on in Chicago, what's going on with ourselves, women everywhere, what's going on in the world. It's always good to know that. We'll also talk about some health fitness tips. We like to go there. Mm-hmm. Considering the guests that we have, I have some stuff I want to talk about caretakers and a little bit of statistics on that. And hopefully we'll see what they feel about those statistics and if they're pretty accurate or not. And then a little bit about music, what's going on in the music world.
Yeah, there's this weekend, I think there's something that's coming up, or is it next weekend? The country's
that's this weekend.
Is it this weekend?
Yeah.
I missed that. But so what happened last week when I wasn't here?
So last week we played Where's Gigi?
that I know.
But last week we talked about food choices. There being no quick fix to health or fitness, and a little bit about some of those quick fix and how to avoid being sold just a product. What else did we also talk about? We talked about a little bit about hiking, going outdoors for fitness, getting involved with your family. And to add on to that hiking thing, I got some information on some under the radar hiking locations. So
in Chicago, around here?
In Chicago and the surrounding area. So those that like to do free things during the summer, give you guys an idea. Free fitness, free health.
Fantastic.
I talked a little bit about what was going on with you. We talked a little bit about Miss USA 2016, a little bit of the controversy that went on with that. And
I honestly don't know what's the controversy. She won that
flat.
She was gorgeous. She was great. But yeah, so you've talked a little bit about that.
Yeah, a little bit about that. We also did talk a little bit briefly about the unfortunate Orlando shooting.
Yeah.
And just kind of ways for people to just be aware of what's going on around them and be conscious of what kind of information they're receiving. Are they just is this hearsay? Are they actually going out and looking for research and making their own opinion?
And it's still unfolding. The story about the Orlando is still unfolding, and we are so devastated. Condolences to the family that was affected, and even the whole community itself. You know, the LGBT community has been very sad about the whole, but there's something that came out of it, and for me it's really that people are supporting them. The people that we didn't know supporting the community are out there. The Pride Parade was here this weekend.
Yeah, there's Pride Fest. It's like the precursor to Pride, because I guess Pride was getting too big, and so they needed to separate some of that. So.
Yeah, it was great. I was downtown yesterday to shoot the final shoot of our downtown for the Mod Culture magazine. So I've seen a lot of the people that was from that parade.
Yeah, you were real brief about that, of what you've been doing. But Gigi's been on this fashion photo shoot
shenanigans,
like literally.
Literally every
Every
weekend,
weekend.
every other day. So if
Every
you guys
weekend.
haven't heard and haven't been following my line, the Gigi collection, we are doing a magazine for the fall and summer 2015-2016. So we're featuring a lot of the local models that are from different countries. They're here in Chicago, obviously, but we're shooting them. They're wearing my clothing. We're featuring some of the amazing background and buildings and locations here in Chicago. So we're basically, it's a fusion of fashion. Clothing created by Gigi, by me, and then it's some of the models because we want to put him out there. And this magazine will be all over the world. So we'll be sending him over to boutiques from to different countries, to Asia, to Europe. So that's going to be interesting. And we're almost about to wrap that up. So we are going to have a launch sometime in July for the magazine.
Yeah,
So.
I'm really excited
And
for
you're
that.
one of the models for the magazine. Just so you
Yes,
know, she'll be
just
there.
so you guys know. So a couple of weekends ago, I had the pleasure of going with Gigi.
And you were great.
Thank you. Downtown, we were at Union Station, and it's always wonderful to do photo shoots in general. I just, as a model for me, I just love to create.
Mhm.
I mean, I paint, I like to model, I just like to create art and share it. And it's awesome to be around other models,
Yes.
other women from other areas that are all here in Chicago, that are all here
Mhm.
to rock Gigi's brand. And that the togetherness of it, it's always great. All the girls were fabulous.
Oh, they are.
They
They're
were
always
so fabulous. And it was nice because you, as a woman, and it's unfortunate, you always go into other events or
Mhm.
you do other things with women, and you, in the back of your mind, there's that
Some of them are
that
yeah.
sense of competition,
Mhm.
that cattiness in some way, just based off of social construction, like we were talking about
Yeah.
earlier, and that how sometimes you always wonder, like, I hope this girl's gonna be okay, or I hope these women are gonna be
Yeah.
great,
Mhm.
because you don't want that cattiness behind. Oh,
Well,
who's
it's I
prettier?
think it's
Who
normal though.
fits
Yeah.
this and who doesn't? And there wasn't that, and that was nice. It
That's
made the
part of the
shoot
job.
enjoyable.
Yeah, that's part of the job for a designer or like event organizers to really make sure that the women that are part of your project not only kind of understand that, hey, there's going to be competition, but at the end of the day, the designer has to select the girl that works best for the outfit. And that's really, and for the most part, a lot of people like criticize me for picking a certain type of girl, certain type of height, certain type of size. But when a girl doesn't fit in the outfit, this was a very easy solution for me. I always feel like, listen, if you don't fit in the outfit, it's not a body error in your part. It's a design error for me as a designer. So, hey, I'm going to cut that.
That
I'm going to make a slit here because you know what? You're going to fit in the outfit no matter how big or how small it's going to be. And we can always do another shoot. So, they really kind of don't understand the idea that I'm going to pick the girl that I think would
look
pick to
good.
look good in the outfit, the right hair, the right color for the skin for that particular color. But then at the end of the day, it's not really your fault that you don't fit in the outfit. It's a design error, and you can make change that by creating different outfits. So.
Which is great for you as a designer to admit that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
I'm
made
still
it
just trying to figure out what I'm doing as a designer. That's the whole point.
when we had a meeting one time, and you were showing me your collection, and you asked me what size that was, and you're like, "Oh, you're not gonna fit this," and I'm like, "Oh, Gigi, are you one of those designers that only makes this size?" And we kind of chuckled about it. But for me, being a model, I'm not a plus size.
Mhm.
I have a certain amount of shape to me in my lower, my thigh, my backside, but my waist is real small. But I have an athletic body, so my clothes are already hard time to find. Period.
Uh-huh.
Period. But to have a designer in a fashion show, it's kind of always that, like, I hope this fits,
Mhm.
just because this outfit looks amazing and I think it's going to look amazing on me.
Mhm.
You always have that like moment, is like, I hope this fits. And when you asked me to come to your shoot, I was excited, but I was kind of like, I hope this fits moment
Yeah,
with you,
yeah.
because I didn't know, like you said, like, what to expect with dealing with other
And that's
designers.
always going to happen in like a lot of fashion shows and a lot of the events I've done before. We do this rehearsal, a dress rehearsal for fashion shows, but in photo shoots, you cannot just look at them and say, "Hey, look at your makeup today. This is outfit you're gonna be wearing," and then we'll shoot it. And if it doesn't work, we can always change. That's the best part about fashion, is because other than the fact that it's social expression for the most part, the girls that's gonna choose to wear the outfit or buy the outfit from a store, as a designer, you kind of have like, we can always make something better, we can always change, and you don't have to change your body to
Yeah,
actually fit
and it
the
was
outfit,
like my
so.
experience as a model for you. When you told me I have something that I know you're gonna wear, and you said that you had put other girls in that same outfit,
Mhm.
and it didn't fit. So I was thinking like,
Oh no.
oh no. Were these girls trying to fit into something really small, or what was the
Was it
deal?
bigger?
And so Gigi's like, no, they were too skinny. Like they
Yeah.
needed to fill it out. And,
Yeah, yeah.
and it made me feel good because,
Thank you.
to have
Yeah, I'm
multiple
glad.
girls have tried this on, but when I tried it on, it was like perfect. So having that moment where you're not going to look good in everything as a model, like,
Mm.
and everything isn't meant to fit you or look good as a model. So to be
Yeah.
aware of that.
Yeah, and more power to all the girls. Actually, now that we're wrapped up that magazine photo shoot, I want to talk about Father's Day. To all the fathers in the world, happy Father's Day to all. Happy
Yeah.
Father's Day to
Happy
my
Father's
dad.
Day.
He's in the Philippines. If you haven't figured it out yet, let me know.
Like, what is your dad doing in the Philippines?
He's just chilling.
Yeah.
He's doing it. He's retired. What else could he be
Have you
doing?
talked to him today?
No, not yet. I will call. I'll try to call them. They're so busy doing their own things. I think they love me. I think.
I think they love me. I called my dad, and my dad he's an early bird and a late bird. He just does what he does, and so I'm looking at the time like, I'll call him a little bit later. My dad's probably up. I'm just gonna call him. So I call him. He doesn't answer. I leave him a voicemail.
Mhm.
He calls me back. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just still laying in bed,
Mhm.
which I expect. But you're not cooking your own breakfast, right? Because every Saturday and Sunday, he always cooks his own breakfast.
Oh my gosh.
For the family,
For the
more or
family?
less.
Wow.
And so he's like, no, I'm not cooking my own breakfast. But if they don't hurry up, I am, because I'm getting hungry.
Plus, it's Father's Day. I think he shouldn't be cooking.
No, of
What do you
course
think
not.
about that? Yeah.
No.
Would you? Have you ever cooked for your dad on weekend if it's like for Father's Day?
No.
Why?
We always kind of do it as like a collective, like, so I guess
Maybe he
kind of.
cooks better.
But normally, I tell you, my dad is always up. He's like, you guys are taking too long. I'm hungry now.
Yeah. He's not gonna wait.
He doesn't want to wait for you to cook breakfast for him. He's already up, have cleaned the house. He's already started breakfast before we're even opening our eyes. So.
Yeah. So what's your best memory of your dad? Oh, actually, let's make this interesting. For all of you that are watching this show, comment on the page. Tell us what's your best memory with your dad. Like the best one. We don't want to hear about
funny
the other
ones.
drama.
I love funny ones. I want to hear the funny ones. The funny, all sincere ones. Not
don't make it up. Just like you have dad, so go ahead and tell us 708-223-8953 or comment on my page. We are live right now, so
you can
comment on our
page.
And I think that my live feed just stopped because it's running out of battery. But if you do have good memory, amazing memory about your dad,
funny,
please go ahead.
Even if it's not funny, because sometimes like you think back about the time your mom and dad or the memory, then they almost kicked your butt, and it was sad at that moment. But you're like, man, I actually really shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
Like I'll take those too. Like I just want to hear, what is your favorite memory of your dad? But
for me,
yeah, let's hear you. I know you started asking me. I'll tell you mine later.
It's more like a collective memory of my dad, like memory that I didn't actually experience. Like I always remember my dad as someone that never complains about anything. Never heard my dad complain about anything, I swear. I don't remember it. I've never heard. Maybe he did, but he never did. And you know how that's like shaped my idea about how a strong man need to be.
Like, stop
I
complaining.
honestly, no, it's true. Like when I hear a guy post on Facebook and say, "Ah, my car broke down," or "Oh my gosh, they left me," or whatever, I'm like, I never heard my dad say that ever. So when that really shaped my idea about men, and that doesn't really mean that men who complain are not strong, but I just feel that my dad is so strong because he never really get into the trivia of like talking about other people or complaining. And I don't hear him speak a lot, but when he does speak, then you better listen up. That's really my remembrance of my dad. And I'm gonna cry. I just so what about you? Like, what do you remember?
So definitely a collective thing, but for me, I think it's more of a joke for me than it is for anybody else. But I like to say within the family, I am my father's son because my dad is me and my sister. I have a stepbrother, but as far as like my dad's own kids, he has girls, and so I say I am his father's son because I've always been that one that wants to play sports and get dirty and let's do this tough stuff, and wanting to be that son my dad didn't have. But it's always so funny is looking back at it, it was like my dad never really wanted a son. Like
to begin
my
with,
dad
right?
didn't want a son. Like but like I mean, I'm sure he would have loved it. But like looking back at it, like last September I had a fashion show at the UIC Forum. My dad and my sister flew from California out here just to support me as a model. A fashion show. I walked twice. You know what I mean? But they came all the way out there because
a big deal.
It is a big deal. And so for me, it's like looking back at it, it's just like looking at it like my dad never wanted a son. He was glad to have us daughters and whatever that involved, whether that us involved playing a sports or whether that involved us putting our makeup on or whether that involved us wanting to change the car tire. Like he was always there as far as support, and like he would thoroughly be upset if he could not be there. Like all my softball games, he made sure he left 10 minutes early, and I don't care if I have to leave. And if you want to write me up, I'm leaving 10 minutes early because I have to be there to support my kid. And so I think that was one of my biggest things. And the simple fact, like I said, my dad is like the ultimate hustler. I swear, like he does, the morning electrician job. And then later at night, he's doing a bouncer job. Whatever he needs to do to make ends meet, to whatever he needs to do to get the family going and stable,
food on the table,
food on the table. He will work 7 jobs in that day, but that's what it's gonna be. And he likes to say, I work hard so I can play even harder. So I let that be that. But yeah, that's shout amazing. Out to my dad. I hope he's watching. I was just telling him about the show.
Oh, is he? Yeah. Well, congratulations for raising a beautiful daughter. And
yeah, likewise.
Nice daughter. Thank you. So
yeah, like if you guys have any outstanding dad stories, feel free to give us a
outstanding debt to your dad.
You'll
never pay back what you owe to your dad forever unless you have kids and raise them as good as, if not better, than how your dad is raised you, right?
So where was Gigi last weekend?
Oh yeah, like this is gonna be a quick one. I really so last weekend was the World's Glamorous Miss Finals that happened in Rosemont, Illinois, and I had the privilege to judge as one of the judges. There was 3, 4, 5, 6 of us total, but at the finals it was me and Derek Lee and Lauren. It was incredible. The women that were there, they had 3 different criteria or like age ranges. So there was junior, teen, and then the miss. And the most amazing part about this is the World's Glamorous Miss is actually, that's the national. So they came from different countries. Some are from Hawaii, from California, just Arizona. There was about 30 contestants total. So The best part about this pageant is for the first so we had a private interview where we get to talk to the girls. It's like a panel, with the voice. There's three of us, and we're just putting them in the front, and we just ask the questions, whatever we want. We score them based off how they answer. And I had scored them. A lot of them scored pretty well. A lot of them are coached, and but few of them are just first timers, and that was exciting for me to actually get to know a lot of these girls, talk about their state, what's exciting about Hawaii, what's exciting about Arizona, and why they're in the pageant. And I had a great time. But the most exciting part about this is for the first time in the history of the world's glamorous miss in 9 years, they never had a tie. So this
Wow.
was the first time there was a tie at the World's Glamorous Miss,
Wow.
and we had to break the tie by asking a question in the front right before they announced the winner. So we had to break the tie and come up with a question based off what the pageant is all about. So then one of the girls, both of them did extremely well, but there's three judges, so there's always going to be one winner at the end of that whole break tie
Yeah.
question. So then Miss Kate Cole, she won. Katie Cole, I think she won as the Miss. Like that was the Miss division where they had a tie. So yeah, congratulations to her. And the first runner up was Miss Hawaii, and she's so pretty. And they the funny part was they actually stay in the same room. They shared the room. And then they were the one in the tie. So that was exciting. We found out about that later. Well, I think like all these girls that went there, did the best that they can. They all look beautiful. They were so happy. So they're all winners for me. It's
Yeah.
just that we have to crown only, three girls at the end of the day. And ultimately, that's just how it works in pageants. And, now that we're talking about pageants, we're talking about the girls that's behind us. They're also going to be competing. The women behind us, the nurses that's competing this coming August, and they will be coming in our show and talk about that pageant itself. So that was it. That was that's where I was. I was staying there for 2 days, just figuring out who's the girl that I like. I had some girls that I actually like and didn't place. So yeah, there are a few girls that I love them, and I think I would hire them as I would put them as some of my models for the collection for Gigi brand for sure. At least six of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, and some of them didn't place, and I'm like, I'm heartbroken. But I got to do the job as a judge, and so even if I like them in a different way, I can't put them on as winners. So.
As a judge, what is the one thing you always look for in all your contestants?
Oh, good
The
question.
one thing as a
Good
judge.
question. So that this is so funny because yeah, you're giving me training. So this is so funny because when we did the press conference, kind of like a press conference interview, the first thing that we all talked about was there's always going to be a girl that's going to walk in the room and say, "That's my crown," and then we give it to her. she just she just
And then
have
we
the
give it to
best.
her.
Yes, she has the best presentation. She has the best gown. She's the most beautiful girl. She's follows all what it embodies, the whole pageant itself, what it embodies. So I think most girls that goes into the pageant after they get a coach, they realize that this is what I have to do to win. And when that girl comes out and have all that things that we want, for me, what I'm looking for is a girl that is aware of her environment and what she has to do to make a difference in the community. Because some of these girls go in pageant and they think it's all fun and game and makeup and hair and all that wave, princessy wave. That's not what I'm looking for. I want somebody that will use her platform to influence the community and to help to contribute to whatever platform that she's going towards. And in order for her to actually win in the pageant, she has to be able to articulate that purpose. For me, when I'm interviewing a girl, I got to know that you're not on it because you were trained to say it. You're in it because that's in your heart. And it's not very difficult for me to really
To
know.
observe that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Have you ever tried doing a paagent?
No, I
You
haven't.
should. Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah. So
That the pageant thing is new.
mhm.
Remember I said I was wanted to be my father's son for a long time. I
Yeah.
just started putting heels on.
I would be so curious
No.
if your dad would show up if
Oh,
you're going to be on the
oh,
pageant.
of course. The
Ah.
hands down, I wouldn't question it. If I said if I expressed that it's important to me, then
Mhm.
it's important for him to be there, and that's just what
Oh,
that is. So
that's the best thing ever. Now we're gonna continue talk about some of the fitness, care fitness for healthcare professionals. What do you
yeah.
think?
So okay. So like Gigi said, we have a group of nurses, women in the healthcare industry, and I thought it was appropriate to talk about this.
Hmm.
My roommate is a caregiver. My grandma was a nurse. I grew up a caretaker, caregiver environment. Myself, I'm an exercise science major,
Hmm.
personal trainer, so caretaker myself.
Yeah.
um, so I wanted to really look. I looked at myself, and then on top of what we were talking about, having our nurses and our caretakers on the show today, I was looking at what is it that I feel we need to talk
Mhm.
about and is pushed under the carpet.
Mhm.
And it kind of it hadn't came up to me until later on this week, and watching my boss at work function and certain things that are said. And I noticed that us as caretakers, especially for me as a personal trainer, we're always giving. We're always
Mhm.
giving ourselves. We're always giving our time. We're always taking care of somebody else, but not
Ourselves,
ourselves.
yeah.
And I noticed this especially for myself in a sense of, yeah, I work out.
Mhm.
I work out all the time. It's my career, but I don't feel like I could I'm not taking care of myself like I should be. Like
Mhm.
I work out, but not to the level that I probably should be
Mhm.
for my level. Just because at the end of the week I'm kind of tired. I've given
Yeah,
all my
after
energy to
right,
everybody
right,
else.
yeah.
Or even so as I sit and I stretch people out and roll and foam roll them and make their muscles loose. But I do that for me sometimes, not
Mhm. Not all
all
the
the
time.
time. Like
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 you're
I
doing with
tell
your
them,
clients,
what
right?
I do
Yeah.
with my clients. So I felt like there's something that we needed to talk about is a lack of self care that us caregivers have.
Mhm.
And so I was doing a little bit of statistics, and I want to pull these up so I can get the actual numbers right
I
because
like
that's important.
statistics. Yes.
So, the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. So obviously, it's a reputable source.
Hmm. Yes.
So I was looking at like what are these statistics on caregivers, because
Mhm.
I know that there's been times for me where I wake up in the morning and I'm exhausted. I don't want to go to work, but I still go to work and I put a smile on and I make it happen.
Mhm.
And so if I'm doing that, all these women, all these men that are in the same similar position,
Mhm.
nursing,
Like
hospitals, nursing homes,
like
whatever that is,
practitioner
that
for health.
they need protect, yeah, is essentially probably going through the same thing that I am. And so because I'm in the exercise science field and I'm always exercising because I'm a group instructor,
Mhm.
I get my fitness in.
Yes. Yes.
But how many other people that are in the healthcare industry don't get that daily fitness regimen
Yeah.
because they're doing so much work? And so I started to doing some research as far as that. Caregivers, they did a study. Caregivers reported having difficult finding time for oneself.
Mhm.
So about 35% of caregivers said that they have a hard time finding time for themselves.
Mhm.
Managing emotional and physical stress, about 30%.
Mhm.
And then balancing work and family responsibilities, about 30%.
Mhm.
So at least 30% of people are just saying that this is an issue. Now, those other people that participate in the survey, are they being true to themselves? Who knows?
Yeah, plus there's also this idea of expectations because like when you're in healthcare, then people say, I'm sick, you got to take care of me. But when what about when you're family? Like if you have a child that's sick and then your doctor calls you, your hospital calls you and say, you have to fill in this thing right now. It's not just yourself, but also the people that are around you, like your whole family
And
is
I
getting
would assume,
affected.
because at least with me, sometimes, like, if I'm tired, and even though I probably should ask for a sub, I
Hmm.
don't ask for a sub because those people are expecting to see Felicity Woodson walk into the
Hmm.
door, and they wake up in that morning excited to
To see
see
you.
me and
Yeah.
come to my class. And so I feel a sense of obligation to my
To be there.
community and to my work and to my clients to be there for them and their health, because they feel good when they see
They
me.
see
And
you,
I
yeah.
noticed that.
And that's,
But
I'm sure that's really also with, especially with nurses that are, tending patients. Like, imagine if somebody comes in, oh, I when I go to the hospital, I always feel like there are certain nurses that are just pretty good with, like, injecting you, and then the other one would break their needle in your arm, and you have that sense of expectations, like, where's my nurse? She was there, I love
yeah.
her. And then you get a new nurse that's not so friendly and all that, then you have different, like, feeling
Uh,
about it. So.
Another thing that is, well, is that, like, sense of responsibility, but the simple fact of the lack of self-care is
Mhm.
actually leading to a higher mortality rate for us, for the caregivers.
Oh my God.
So now we're putting all this time into being caregivers, taking care of somebody else, bringing them back up to their health, and
Mhm.
that same time our health is declining on its own.
Mhm.
So because we're at work all day and all there is a vending machine and this fast food
Mhm.
options, that at that moment is that's our choice. Is so these food choices aren't completely healthy. We don't have that opportunity to really sit down to ourselves and maybe go out for a run. I mean,
Mhm.
I know, like, my sister, she's a CNA. She works at a dialysis company. She puts in 12 hours every
Mhm.
day.
Oh
You
my
know what I mean?
God.
So on top of being at home and taking care of a family, where do you get in working out, eating
Food
good
and,
food,
yeah, taking
having
time.
having social time, because social time is actually important as
Important.
well.
Yes.
You can't just have work and family. You need some social aspect to that. And so
Mhm.
I just started to really look at that, and I wanted to bring it awareness
Mhm.
to not only our guests, but the people that are
They're
watching and
watching.
that are our caregivers, is to just be mindful of what's going on with your body as well, and not putting in all your time with your clients or your patients.
Mhm.
That to remember that your health is important, because if you're not healthy, how are they supposed to have
Yeah,
somebody to
yeah,
take care of them? If
exactly.
I'm sick, how am I supposed to take care of Gigi? I can't,
Right.
So just be mindful so that you can promote positive health with yourself.
Mhm.
Try to find some sort of rest in between those long hours, because I know that it's it's kind of unavoidable. We have to put in those hours. This is what the shift is. But if we can at least try to request a day in between, or find somebody that's going to be a partner
Mhm.
and say, hey, you know what, I really need this day off. Can you cover for me? And seeking out support is really helpful. Is saying that I need help.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you'll be surprised how many people actually are willing to help you when you reach out for help, and to be conscious of your emotional stress.
Mhm.
Case in point, I'll uh, be the guinea pig that says this. So last week I had a mid 20 crisis, whatever. I had a
What
whole
is
little
that?
emotional breakdown.
Oh
I
my
was being a
God.
complete baby
You
brat.
didn't call me. You didn't call me.
I
I
was
would have
having
talked to you.
I was having a complete moment, and I was really upset. And I didn't realize how much stress I was under emotionally in my work life and my personal life, that I just broke down.
Mhm.
And the moment someone asked me how I was, and I said I was fine, they looked at me and told me, no, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
I
Yeah.
started crying. And so I wasn't aware of my emotional stress. And that's the reason why I'm bringing this up,
And
is to
sometimes
make an
crying
awareness.
makes you a little bit
Well,
feel better.
yeah.
But we have guests, and so we're going to take a short break in a little bit, but we're
Yeah.
bringing them so we can ask them how they
Yeah.
manage their
Yeah.
stress
How they
level,
manage their
how they
stress, because
manage
I'm
their
really
life.
curious.
And we'll talk about, obviously, the Miss Beautiful Nurse pageant that's happening in August. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back at Women Everywhere. Your story matters at Intellectual Radio. Don't go anywhere. So.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Felicity Woodson, and you're tuning into Women Everywhere with Intellectual Radio, and my co-host next to me,
Gigi Carrera. If you guys have any comments about our show today, and if you want to share stories about your dad, make sure to call us at 708-223-8953, or you can post it on our Facebook page. And we're back.
So as you see, we are not just Gigi and Felicity now coming back. We do have 5 beautiful guests, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Lakeisha Brooks. I'm a telemetry tech and also a CNA.
Hi, my name is Sankia Lemons, and I am a psych nurse by trade, which is wonderful that you guys are talking about self-care today. I've been a psych nurse for approximately about 10 years, and I actually work in the neighborhood.
Nice.
My name is Shantana Dawson. I'm an LPN. I work at Northwestern in rheumatology. I also do specialized ventilator care for home health patients as well. I've been in the nursing field for about 15 years.
Hi, my name is Shannon McDougall, and I'm a nurse at the University of Chicago. I've been a nurse for 11 years, and I practice all over the hospital. And I'm also a personal trainer.
Oh, fantastic.
My name is Shirley Marshall. I've been a nurse 39 years. I'm currently a hospice nurse, but my field is actually trauma nurse.
Fantastic. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
So coming back to our self-care topic real quick. So all of you are in obviously stressful environments all the time, every day, work, home, all of that. What is one way you find self-care? What do you find taking your time to yourself? What do you do for yourself to make you kind of feel better after all the stress through the week? Or do you do something at the end of the day? Is it a ritual? Kind of looking to see, what do you guys do? Because it's important, I feel like, to do that self-care. And for you, it's the...
So I read a lot, and I have a 6-year-old niece that we do have a ritual. Once I'm off work, I spend lots of time with her, teaching her how to read and different things like that. And for me, I don't have small children, so just to see her and know that she's learning and I'm able to teach her to be a better person in the world works for me. So just hanging out with her and hanging out with my sister and doing things with my family actually works to de-stress myself.
What about any of you?
I go home. I drink a glass of wine.
Oh, that's what I thought would be the best.
And I may have 2 or 3. It depends on how my day have gone. Then I'll sit on the deck and just relax and just get into myself.
Fantastic. That's a good way to do it. Anybody else has the answer to that? What do you do?
I do the same thing. I go home and drink a glass of wine and just relax
Yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah.
So for you ladies, how did you choose to be a nurse? Did you have an idea what you're getting yourself into when you?
Well, for me, I love people. I love helping people. I would do anything to help people. I had a lot of sick people in my family, so that was my passion to take care of them and to make sure they got the help they needed.
Fantastic.
So in my family, we kind of use, as a child, you grow up with your grandmother and your mother kind of using self remedies
Medication,
at home.
yeah.
So it's just like,
I do that a lot.
so it's just like, okay, there's something to this. And so I've done every branch of healthcare prior to being a nurse. I was a CNA. I ran a clinic as a phlebotomist and did some other stuff. Then I was a CNA in a nursing home, and then I got into nursing school, and then I branched off into psych.
Well, this is one thing I'd have to ask, and we can go over to pageantry when it comes to healthcare. The new nurses, the new people coming into this field
Oh God,
that have
there's a trivia
no
question.
that have no idea what to expect as far as stress level, how to manage it or transition over into that chaos, over into, okay, I think I got this. What is there anything? Is there any trick? Do you just kind of let time be time and get through it? Do you go underneath a wing?
What I tell my employees is to have a good mentor. You have to have a good mentor. For nursing, it takes you at least a year to get your bearings and to actually feel comfortable that you know what you're doing. So you have to have a good mentor and have good support at home.
Good.
And just know that you'll have those days that you're gonna cry. Okay, how strong a person you are, you're gonna leave work crying.
Yeah.
Either the workload or something that a patient has said to you, you're gonna have those days, and know that it's okay to have those days. But having that support system once you leave work and being able to provide yourself with self-care, I think, is what I would give them.
When I became a nurse, I was petrified. I would go home, I would cry. I wanted to get out of the field. My husband said, "Oh, no, you're not. Much stress you put me through going to school." He said, "You're going to continue." My mother was a nurse. My mother would come home, she had on this white cap, starched shoes, white stockings. I'm like, do I want to be a nurse? Then I started off as a CNA. So that was hard work. I'm like, oh no, I can't do this forever. So I said, let me go back to school. But I started going back as a social worker. Then I'm like, no, that's not what I really want to do. So I went back and became a nurse. I had my ADN, then I went back and got my bachelor's. I kept saying, if I was a little younger, I would go back to school now, but no, not right now.
Well, final question before the pageantry. Actually, I want to ask: is it like when you watch, movies about nurses and in the care system, the ER? Is it really true how catty some women are in your ward? Like,
absolutely.
Is
There's
it
a saying that nurses eat their young? Nurses are very territorial and they love their things.
Oh my God.
If they have information, oftentimes they don't share it with the newer nurses. So yes, that's absolutely true.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least that confirmed my suspicion that women are always going to be catty.
But we're not like that.
Yeah, not them. They're pageants. They're special.
Catty. But okay, so now we said, like, you guys are doing this pageant now. Is what kind of inspired you to kind of take off the scrubs, take off the sneakers, and I don't know, be an actual normal person that's not having to walk into this chaos every day? But pageantry is pretty chaos too. So it's kind of like from one chaos to another.
For me, I wanted to step out of my shy zone. I'm a very shy person. I don't like talking in front of large crowds. I want to be me. I want everybody to know that it's another side of me. I'm going to be sexy that night.
Fabulous.
I'm gonna give it my all. So I'm not going to be shy that night.
Good. Anybody?
For me, it was my daughters. They were like, "Mom, you should really do this." And I was like, "Oh, no." They're like, "No, Mom, no. You are beautiful inside and out.
Yes.
You take care of patients all the time." And I was like, you know what? I'm beautiful inside and out. I take care of patients at Northwestern. I have my home care patients that on ventilators, and they are my world.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I want to go and have fun, stand out, and just enjoy
You get to
it.
dress up and meet more
Yes,
people.
dress
Yeah,
up. Everybody
definitely.
sees me in scrubs all the time. My son said, "Mom, if I see you in those gray scrubs, I'm tired of them." So yeah, this is
You're gonna be the one to like make a beautiful evening gown out of
I'm
scrubs.
so excited. Are you guys gonna come out with your scrub and then change, and then you're gonna be like, "Look at me, I'm so fabulous now."
Oh my God.
This is so exciting. I am super. So like, to that question, like, what can we expect at the pageant? What's happening at the pageant?
So hopefully you'll see a lot of gorgeous women stepping out of their comfort zone. I know for me, getting involved in the pageant, I'm very focused on education. I've always been in school, and when I was in school, I never took the time to do the girly things like cheerleading and all that kind of stuff. So when the pageant originally came up, it conflicted with the vacation I had. But then the date changed, and I was like, wow, this was meant for me to be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so hopefully you'll see some fabulous women coming out of their comfort zones, beautiful dresses, but we get to show our intellect and that we're not just people that take care of patients. We're people outside of that. We have families. We're smart. We're gorgeous. We like shoes. We like to show people how fabulous we are.
And you also have a talent portion, right?
Absolutely.
Oh my God, this is it. This is gonna be so much fun. I hope you're not injecting somebody as your talent. It's just like here. I can feel the beans.
The cool thing of you guys saying that is, without you guys really noticing, is this is a self-care moment for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are stepping out of your comfort zone and you're doing something for you. You guys are taking
time
that
for yourselves.
moment to put those heels on, to take that moment to put your makeup on, to feel good, to let other people come and see you instead of you going to see them.
Yes, that
So,
I could expect a lot of people to come. With all of you guys, you've been working really hard to taking care of them. It's time for them to actually see you. That would be very interesting to see. So there's the pageant. Like, again, tell us about so there's a bathing suit competition. Is there a bathing suit?
No.
Disappointed.
We're not ready for that. This is nurse pageantry, not normal pageantry.
Oh my gosh! Because I would design the bathing suit for that. One of these days, yes.
That's the good thing about this pageant, because with society's focus on just behinds and breasts and stuff, people want to feel comfortable. And I'm comfortable within myself, but I feel like I just need to not be so exposed.
Yeah, with the bathing
I would be
suit.
nervous
Yeah.
being so exposed. So I think that's a good thing about this pageant. People will, get a chance to be comfortable without having to worry about bathing suit, tucking this and sticking this and smoothing this down.
Yeah.
So what preparation have you guys done as far as like the pageant? Because do you have about how many weeks? Maybe a month and a half? Yeah, about a month and a half.
Yeah.
So what kind of preparation are you doing for that pageant?
Well, for me, I am preparing for the talent portion. So I've been working really hard to honor my talent, which I don't want to expose at the moment.
Oh, it's going to be a surprise. This is just getting better. Yeah.
Right, and then we get to wear a black dress. So we get, I think what's really important is that everybody can expect to see how dynamic all of us are. We're women, we are more than just nurses, we're more than just mommies, we have our own individual passions and talents, and I think that we're able to inspire and motivate other people, and people will get to see why we're able to do that. And it's a way to celebrate all of us. And I think it's just a beautiful thing, because a lot of times caregivers don't get celebrated. They do the hard work, they do the due diligence, and they are in the background. So this is a great
This is an
opportunity.
incredible time. So I actually want to give a shout out to the founder of the Miss Beautiful Nurse pageant. She's here, but she doesn't want to come on board. Bridget Flowers, thank you for bringing in the girls here so we can talk to them about it. So for the Miss Beautiful Nurse 2016, when is this happening? How can people follow? How can they get tickets to the show? Can someone explain that? Yeah.
You go on to eventbrite.com, and you're gonna put in Beautiful Nurse pageant, and in the box so that the nurses would be so they'll know who's buying the ticket, who's sponsoring that nurse. You put their name in the box.
Oh, the name of the nurse.
Yes.
The
name of the nurse goes into the box.
So this event is happening on August 6th, 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Prairie State College, 202 South Halsted Street in Chicago Heights, Illinois. That's that's perfect. So if you guys are interested, we're going to be putting in this information on our Facebook page, Women Everywhere. So make sure to tune in and check out the rest of them. And I think we want you to tell us your names again so people remember.
But real quick, do you guys you guys each individually have a separate platform that you guys are going
after you win? Like, do you have specific charities or a platform that you want to advocate after you win?
So I do. My passion is mental health and NAMI Foundation, which works in conjunction with my hospital, and I participate in a lot of their fundraisers. So National Alliance for the Mentally Ill is a passion of mine, and that's a platform that whatever I do as a nurse, I try and incorporate that into my lifestyle and to bring awareness for mental health.
And can you remind our viewers of your name again?
My name is Tankia Lemons.
And I'm Lakeisha Brooks.
I'm Shantana Dawson.
Shannon McDougall.
Shirley Marshall. And when you write your name, make sure you put Shirley Marshall down. Thank you.
Fantastic. So from me, I want to ask you, what are you hoping to take away from this whole pageant, other than healing process or like?
I'm hoping to take home the crown.
Oh, there you go.
Taking the crown home.
Yeah, that's our one. Our one that walks into the room.
What about you, ladies? What do you
have fun with it? I've never done anything like this, and I appreciate Bridget for giving us this opportunity. I just want to have fun with it and be able to showcase some of my shoes I haven't worn.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, those glittery shoes. We've got to see them, right?
I'm sure your kids are probably excited to see you finally out the green scrubs.
Yes. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna take home the crown.
Oh, there's two of them. How many crowns do we have?
One.
Oh. What about you? What do you expect?
So earlier this year, I lost my dad to Alzheimer's. He wandered off and he went missing, and he was never found. And so for me, I'm living in my moment, and so I just want to showcase everything I have and be my true self. And I think that that's what all of us are. As you get older, you just want to take away doing you, all of and everything that has to do with that.
Whether I win or lose, it's all about the fun and the new people I have met and just the road to do this journey. So it's just fun now.
That's awesome. Again, guys, this is the Miss Beautiful Nurse pageant that's happening in August 6th, right? Yes. And in Chicago Heights. So we're going to be sharing that information. And thank you so much for stopping by here, beautiful ladies.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We're really excited to be there. I will be there doing live coverage. She will be your guys' judge. So
Judging. I'm excited. Thank you so much
make
for
sure
tuning
you
in.
have a lot of candy in your pocket.
I don't need candy. I like shoes, though.
Bring shoes. I'm helping you with bribes.
Just kidding.
You guys have been awesome, and I'm really excited to be able to be a part of your outreach, to be able to listen to your guys' story. Like I said, my family grew up in the caretaker world, so I definitely understand where you guys are coming from, and I encourage you guys to keep going and stay positive and make sure you get your self-care in, because that's really important.
Fantastic. And you guys are so important in this community, so we love you.
So if they haven't told you, I'm going to tell you, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So everybody that is tuning in, thank you to tuning into Women Everywhere.
We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. I'm Felicity
Intellectual
Woodson.
Radio.
This is
Gigi Carrera.
Ladies, you want to say your names one more time so they can
I'm
follow you?
Lakeisha.
Shirley Marshall.
Shantana Dawson.
Shirley Marshall.
Shannon McDougall.
See you next week. Women everywhere. Your story matters with Intellectual Radio.
All right, everybody. Have a nice day.
Striking up the band, it's me and my boys. Do you hear the sound?